This game wants to be Skyrim 2 before Elder Scrolls 6. I saw a clip of this game the other day. I'm excited to check it out. Also, YouTube Frogs, what's up? How's it going? My name's Chris. We're about good vibes here. Hope you enjoy your stay. If you do, feel free to drop a like and a sub. That'd be so sick. Fair warning, I talk too much. Sometimes I don't talk enough. I talk to chat too much. You have been warned. The original video will be linked at the top of the description. Twitch stream right below that if you want to come by sometime. We'd love to have you. Is there anything else I have to say? I don't think so. Let's get into it. Oh, yeah, this is also not going to be edited a lot. I'm literally just going to throw it into the Twitch VOD highlighter. So let's get into it. Game
There is
ranks.
nothing quite like the Elder Scrolls series. You know, as much as we all love to complain about Bethesda and their aging game engine, nobody else did it quite like them. They're open worlds, but also immersive sims, kinda, with interactive elements and a sense of freedom that very few games have managed to achieve. But, I mean, like, man, it's been more than 14 years since Skyrim launched, and with the Elder Scrolls 6 apparently still a very long way away.
Sound like you can handle it?
Fantasy fans and stealth archer aficionados are getting desperate just to get their fix for something. Anything.
Do you know what's crazy, bro? There will be a bigger gap between the Elder Scrolls 5 and the Elder Scrolls 6 than there was before, or than there was between GTA 5 and GTA 6. Isn't that fucking nuts? Isn't that fucking nuts? Now, to be fair, Rockstar did put out less games. Okay, they put out one game in between instead of Bethesda's 2. Well, technically 3, but still crazy to think about. Playing absurdly heavy mod pack, 4,600 mods. I'm having a blast, dude. That's awesome, Raz. That's so sick, dude. Was it like a collection from Nexus? And I take it you're talking about Skyrim, right? Not to mention there's. Oh yeah, you're talking about the acting and kissing and stuff. Yeah. Who make sure everyone on set is comfortable. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that dude was making a horrible argument. That dude really tried to tell me I was wrong because actors who are paid and it's a job don't ask mid shoot. Like, what a fucking dumbass. Yeah. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't talk enough to us, bro. That's real. Yeah, that's real. It was, dude. Hell yeah, Raz. Hell yeah. I honestly have to play a super modded Skyrim playthrough again, dude. I do miss it. It was really fun. I got my one playthrough recently when I was trying to play it super modded. I got like 30 hours in, and then I just kind of like got bored of it. So I think maybe I just need to play a different pack, honestly.
To fill the Skyrim-shaped holes in their hearts. We come close here and there. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 kind of scratches that itch. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon, sure. Also,
oh yeah, the domain one. Yeah, you can toggle off the loot stuff, but it's hype as hell. It's a new game. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've seen their mod packs a lot, dude. Okay, Chris, you should do a Skyrim playthrough, but with dumbass mods like Macho Man Dragon type mods. I'll have to see if there's a collection for that because I'm really bad at modding Skyrim myself.
I mean, the Outer Worlds 2, pretty underrated so far this year. Look, it's not like Skyrim needs replacing or anything, but you can't live on one game alone, like one Elder Scrolls style game. The Oblivion remake gave us a quick bump and a nice reminder that, like, oh yeah, Oblivion's actually awesome. But it's not enough. There needs to be something legitimately new, and in the void left by Bethesda's absence here, new game developers and studios are moving in to respond to the demand. We wanted to make a video because this random game caught our eye. It's not sponsored or anything, but a lot of people have been talking about this trailer for Fatekeeper. This was announced back in August, but...
Sorry to cut off the video here, but yeah, Josh, saying introducing Skyrim Remake, you know what's fucking crazy to me? The fact that Todd Howard came on to an interview and was like, oh yeah, dude, we're not fans of doing remakes or remasters around here. Brother, how many versions of Skyrim have we gotten? The Anniversary Edition, what was the one that they did for the next gen consoles? Whatever the fuck that was. Brother, be so fucking for real right now. You guys will do that. You just won't do that for older games because it's not as easy. Okay? Don't be capping out here, Todd. You fuck. The next gen update, that was for Fallout. They called it something. They called it something for Skyrim to like PS4 and Xbox One, which by the way, and then they had the next, yeah, it's, oh my God. Now, to be fair, they haven't really remade Skyrim. They just port them half the time. Yes, they port them and they do like a graphics update, right? And call it like a, re-release or whatever, because it's way easier to do that. They couldn't do that with like Fallout 3 or Oblivion, obviously, because they would actually have to fully remaster. So technically, he is right? But also, like, shut the fuck up, okay? You are technically, well, by technicality, you are clear, but also you are kind of doing the same thing. The third person combat is insane. I feel like Kratos or Wukong. Oh, dude, fuck yeah, dude. I'm gonna have to tap in on that. Yeah, the next gen update for PS6. Fantabulous. Eureka! Sorry.
This recently released 8-minute official gameplay trailer gave us a better look at what this thing might actually be.
Dude, he's just getting
And
flung
would you look at
around.
that, it's kind of like a bona fide Skyrim-like. The UI, the first-person camera, the object viewer that's also used for puzzle solving, you could tell that this game was heavily inspired by Skyrim. Even if in terms of like massive open world, it might not be the case, it's just got that feel. It's got that aroma to it. And the influences don't stop with just that. It's also pretty clearly cribbing from Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. Hello, where are my OG homies at? It's definitely got some of that playbook where you can fling enemies around with telekinesis.
I'm sorry, Uncle Jake. I don't know anything about that.
Kick them into conveniently placed spike walls. Look, I'm not complaining. Skyrim already has immersive sim elements, so it only makes sense to lean into them even more by borrowing from like the Arcane playbook. The game looks...
Yeah, dude, the gameplay looks nice. It looks way better, way more impactful than, any of the Elder Scrolls games. Like the combat, like the impactful of like your hits and stuff, not like impactful culturally. Including ports, we have gotten 17 versions of Skyrim. Todd, what the fuck? Oh my god, bro. Send me the name of this game on Discord. I'm gonna be honest, I already forget what the fuck it's called. I'm gonna be so for real right now. We'll check here in a second. Game of the Year, Anniversary 2, Remaster 1, 2, and 3, Complete Edition, Wii U? Wait, there wasn't actually a Wii U one, right? Or was there, dude? Last thing, here's what I'll do. I'll put the link to this video in the Twitch chat so you can go find it, Twin. There you go. I got you, dude.
Looks gorgeous too. That's a big part of this. In a way,
it does look really nice.
Like we've never really seen from an Elder Scrolls style game up to this point. If this is a teaser for what to expect with something like Elder Scrolls 6, then maybe the wait for the game will be worth it. If it actually looks kind of like this, maybe. The game is built on Unreal Engine 5 here and definitely looks it. It is maybe the best looking Skyrim-like game we've seen so far. There have been a few attempts at aping Bethesda's style, but many of the best are mods, not commercial games. Stuff like Enderall, Forgotten Stories, and the older Nerim, At Fate's Edge, and Sure AI are some of the best attempts at making a Bethesda-like RPG, at least from like the fan crowds. Then we have some big things like Fallout London, and just to get it out there,
I still gotta play Fallout London, bro. Oh my god.
all those things are worth checking out because they really are some of the best impressive stuff ever done with this type of engine. But there have only been like a few attempts at making a commercial game that tries to emulate the unique properties of a game like Skyrim. Like,
hold on, let me catch up with chat and then I'll get my point. Yo, I got you, Last Stand, by the way, bro. They had a Stadia release? That makes sense. Oh, never mind. The Wii U edition was an April Fool's thing. There is Skyrim on the Switch, though. Yes, I actually own it on my Switch. I was pretty stoked on that when I saw the show. I was like, I can take Skyrim anywhere. The thing is, though, taking Skyrim anywhere means you actually have to, like, go places and shit. So, But back to what I was going to say, he kind of moved past it before I could say anything, because I didn't want to pause, like, immediately after pausing, like, within a couple of seconds. But, there is a chance that this gameplay trailer, one, the game could just be hollow, right? Like, the game could just be all, like, there's nothing fucking going on there, Never mind, I was wrong. Only ESO came out for Stadia. Okay, word. Yeah, because I feel like Stadia came out kind of a weird time for Skyrim ports. Anyways, the game could just be hollow, like there's nothing going on. It's just pretty, That could be a thing. Not to be a Debbie Downer, right? I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to set, like, realistic expectations for what this game is. And also, they could be watchdogging us, where they show absolutely beautiful gameplay with the graphics turned all the way up on a super beefy computer with a 5090 in it, okay, and an iCore 9 or whatever the best, whatever is right now, right? But it also could just look this good. It's an Unreal Engine, so you don't know. It could be incredible, but also we should set some realistic expectations that this shit could be ass, respectfully. I hope it's not, though. I hope it's incredible. Also, the Skyrim on Switch is awesome. It only crashed on me twice. Dude, that actually is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, bro. You ever try playing that shit on PS3? I will not lie, though. Oh, not updated, by the way, because I didn't have internet. I'll not lie, though. Just laying in bed and playing Skyrim is sick as hell. It really is, dude. It really is.
I kind of mentioned earlier before, the most noteworthy one is that Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon that released this year.
Yes.
It's an admirable attempt to making something approaching the scale of an Elder Scrolls.
Oh, and that's also what I was going to say, is you have to remember that I'm pretty sure this game is being put out by a AAA company. Tainted Grail is, from what I know, AA, maybe indie, right? I don't know really where they lie in there. Because, like, some people are calling Sandfall, like, a indie dev, which, like, in my head, an indie dev is, like, literally 5 or less people, or like maybe 10 or less people. When you get like 20, 30 people, I'm like, okay, you're probably like AA at this point. If you have a publisher helping you out, then in my head, you're AA. So Tainted Grail, it's somewhere in that realm, AA indie devs, right? So like them doing this is incredible to me. There's one called Skyrim Very Special Edition, is a free voice-controlled Amazon Alexa skill that lets you play a narrated text-based adventure of Skyrim. That's awesome. That's actually so sick.
But with a little bit of a different flavor. Look, it can't quite pull it off. Instead of an open world, the game is split into a series of these larger regions that you explore in order. But it otherwise captures the open-ended spirit of one of these games pretty well. It's a game that's a little rough around the edges for sure, but the developers clearly put a lot of heart into it, despite lacking that massive budget of like.
Isn't it still in early access though, right, or something?
Like a AAA.
Like this isn't the full release.
RPG. I did the before you buy on this one. Check that out if you missed that game. But this, going back, Fatekeeper, for as impressive as it looks, it sounds like it's going to be similar. This game, at least, has the backing of THQ Nordic, though.
I thought it was THQ Nordic.
There's actual publisher money behind it. But the dev team has no other game to their credit. Nothing that we can find. We can't also say for certain how linear this game is going to be, but it is going to be linear to some degree. So it, unfortunately, is not going to be a full open world. They're pretty cagey about it on the Steam page, but on the game's official website, you can find this quote here. While Fatekeeper follows a focused narrative path, the world invites exploration. So, is the game actually incredibly linear with a few optional directions to explore? Or is it more like Avowed or The Outer Worlds 2, where it gives you a few large areas to explore, but you progress through them somewhat linearly? The, quote, focused narrative path line makes it sound like it's going to be very linear, but I don't want to draw too many conclusions yet for that one line, especially because everything else about the game sounds pretty solid. I mean,
I feel like the pocket to sit in for devs should be like, if you can't do a huge open world and like you don't want to do that just to like fill up your game with like whatever like pointless fucking quests like Saints Row 2 was, or missions quests, whatever, in whatever world you're in for your game, it should be Expedition 33 style. They did a good job where it was very linear and you kind of had like an open world, and then the farther you get into the game, the more you unlock, then the world becomes super open to you. Not like obviously nowhere near Skyrim level, but it becomes open to you. There's then side quests. There's like other stuff that you can do. I feel like that's pretty good because I felt like there was a lot to explore in that game, and that kind of scratched that itch inside of that game's world for me. Not the same as Skyrim. Skyrim, you know, there's really nothing like a Bethesda game of just like getting caught on like side quests or side missions or whatever you want to call them and going out and just like exploring the world. That's one of the things that makes those games absolutely incredible, right? But there is like a world where you can not be fully linear and still have a little bit of an open world and do it well, in my opinion. Peacekeeper? No, it's Fatekeeper. Yeah, Fatekeeper. Also, Skyrim on the Switch is technically its own game because they added the Zelda gear to it. Oh, is it just there, or is that one of those like Creation Club things?
Look, combat seems to be a focus here, which again Reminds us more of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. You could dodge and block and use magic to keep your enemies at bay. It looks fun and punchy and satisfying, like tactile, in a way that most of these games kind of aren't. For as great as Skyrim is, the combat system still isn't exactly deep. You're still swinging an axe or a sword and watching a health bar go down. There's a lot of Skyrim in the exploration elements we have seen here. Like, I will give it that. Just from the gameplay trailer alone, we see a lot of stuff to collect, enemies to click on, things to grab, hidden pieces of armor and weapons. There's even a recipe they find, which tells us that there might be some kind of crafting system here, so it can't be too linear. At least that's our impression with how much character building and equipment variety there seems to be. I mean, we got.
Do you know what my fear is for this game? That they let the devs work on this. They're like, we want to make a medieval game, right? Or whatever game, right? We want to make a medieval game. And they put this together, they put out this trailer, and now that THQ Nordic saw the response to this saying, oh, it's like Skyrim, it's like Skyrim, it's like Skyrim, they're going to go to the devs and go, hey, this game you're doing? Yeah, oh, it's supposed to come out in however long? Give it an open world. Yeah, actually, they want it to be like Skyrim, and the devs are going to be like, what the... No, we're not trying to, like, make Skyrim. It just, like, has some similarities. Like, we took inspiration from Skyrim for, like, our, you know, UI and, like, some of the combat and stuff. Like, that's not what we're trying to do. And they're like, it is, though. It is what you're gonna do. It's what you're gonna do, or we're gonna fucking, you know, I don't know, can your studio after this game. Probably not that extreme, but they're like, you're gonna do this. Literally an avowed situation where it was like supposed to be an online game and then it like got changed around. I don't think that will happen, but that's my fear. That's my worst fear with this game. Oh, it's just in the game you can get a random chest using an amiibo or whatever the fuck, Amiibo, or you can go to the throat of the world or whatever it's called and find all the good gear in a chest. The Amiibo chests are randomized, so you might not get the full set. RV the Area is on sale from $7.99 to $7.19. What a sale. Yeah, I'm saving big time with that, dude. Dude, I might be able to fucking get a stick of gum, dude. Not like a full pack, but I might be able to go, can I just buy this outright? Amiibo? Amiibo. Fucking Nintendo.
Look at a character building screen, which does help. Oh, and the one thing that Fatekeeper has that Skyrim doesn't, this talking rat. Look at this. I love this guy. The animation on him is pretty spectacular.
Talking rat, I'm in.
He's just got a lot of personality. It's unique. It's something different. The voice acting...
Oh, Amiibo.
On the other hand, is not great for this, like, which is kind of surprising.
I'm not tapped in on Nintendo at all.
It seems like the base quality of most games' voice acting has gone up a lot in the last few years, and with THQ Nordic, you know, funding. You
know what would make me buy this game immediately? Literally pre-order it right now if it was available for $80 or whatever they're going to charge on this shit because it's AAA. If the rat was voiced by Ben Starr. If the rat was voiced by Ben Starr. Yes, sir. I would literally pre-order this shit right fucking now. British-ass Ben Starr in here? Like, oh, another chest. I wonder what's in there. I don't know. I can't really do a good Ben Starr impression. Let's carve a bite of cheese. I agree that rat does need to be changed to a female with huge tits. Too ugly the way it is. Good thinking, Chris. Yeah, we gotta get on Grum's good side here, bro. My characters need to be goonable or I don't want to play the fucking game. My game? 2030 we're looking at. Yo, Nightwave, what's up? We're watching This Game Wants to Be Skyrim 2 before the Elder Scrolls 6. Thank you for the gifties, by the way. I appreciate you. Chris, did you say the N-word? Jay, when the fuck would I have said the N-word other than when I was 13 years old in a Skype call? Okay? Really, hey, let's put our thinking caps on here. Rat Big Naturals mod when? Yo, good fucking question. You know what they're going to do to this thing? It's going to be like that ad that you get on the hub. Or at least back when I was in my Gooner era, I would get this one, right? Where it's like the fairy with boobs. Right? That's what they're going to do to this rat when this game becomes moddable. Actually, it might not be able to do that because it's an Unreal Engine. I don't really know how all the modding works with Unreal Engine. I know that's one of like Bethesda's cop-outs for why they won't go to Unreal Engine is they're like, it's not very moddable, which is my concern with the new Cyberpunk game, by the way, because they're moving to Unreal Engine instead of whatever. Right, chat? We all had that ad, right, chat? Right? Hey, chat, right? We all got that one, right? Hey, chat, we all got that one, right? Chris, I'm gonna pull a not Luigi. Oh, you're gonna take the bullet for a healthcare CEO? Is that what you're saying there, Julian? Anywho, sorry, let's continue.
More backing some of this. Look, maybe it's just a temporary thing, a placeholder
Oh,
voice.
look at how cute he is.
We'll see. The entire visual design of the game seems heavily inspired by Skyrim with a touch of The Witcher 3 with your inventory management. Another way this game may be similar to The Witcher 3 is how it seems to have no stealth whatsoever. Like we haven't seen any mention or example of
Fuck your chunk of
sneaking at
stealth.
all, which is another knock against the game's immersive sim elements. But if the magic and combat is good enough, then it won't matter all that much. So it won't really be a true Skyrim successor or even a Dark Messiah one because, you know, even in that game you could sneak around if you wanted to, even if it was always easier to just kick goblins into spikes. Look,
Hold
it
on.
looks here.
We might have to play this Dark Messiah game, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. We might have to do a little throwback Thursday on this shit, dude. I have not got that ad yet, just AI girls only. Oh yeah, this was back, hey, this was before AI, dude. This had to have been like 2018, 2019 era. Nah, I'm saying that I'm gonna pull Luigi, but it wasn't Luigi. He was having dinner at a 5-star restaurant. Oh, so you're gonna do something not so nice to a Blizzard worker. I understand.
Like you're setting out to be a brute. Some of the game's marketing mentioned just playing as like a heavier kind of soldier type character. And that's fine because again, the gore, the dismemberment, the tactile nature of the combat seems good here. It's unfortunate the actual scope of what you're doing seems to be limited because otherwise, from what we've seen, the game looks very impressive.
Yeah, it looks
just
really
from the
beautiful.
Pre-release material we've seen here, it's got a wide variety of pretty detailed environments to explore and cool looking enemies to fight. The combat looks satisfying and the Skyrim stuff is charming, like having to actually equip a torch to see in dark areas, for example. Like there's definitely something here. And finally, it's nice to see a flashy trailer with good graphics that doesn't feel like a Steam scam game. I mean, we can rest a little bit because THQ Nordic is backing it, but just because a publisher is behind it doesn't mean it's going to turn out amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not like THQ Nordic has ever, you know, released some fucking stinkers before. Yo, Unc, what do you think about these RAM prices? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not super tapped in, but I think everything is ass right now because of tariffs when it comes to building PCs. Unless they've actually had the opposite effect and they're actually affordable now, but I highly doubt that's actually what it is. I already thought that shit was crazy because the market was so like juiced up whenever like a new graphics card would drop or whatever, right? It would be insane prices because of scalpers. But now it's just even worse because of tariffs, at least from my understanding. I haven't tried to buy anything recently, but that's what I've heard a lot of people complain about.
We don't know yet. At least it still looks like an RPG too. Like there's a skill tree, plenty of opportunities for character customization. Even if
Guitar
again, you
Hero?
are playing
Hell yeah,
a
twin.
set, kind of heavy character. I don't know if you're even going to see what your character actually looks like underneath. All the armor just kind of covers you head to toe, so we don't even know what the dude looks like or if you can really like create him. Not that that matters because you spend the entire game, it looks
In
like
first person.
first person.
Yeah.
But it is another thing that kind of erodes the game's potential as being an Elder Scrolls before Elder Scrolls or like, you know, an appetizer. Look, we can't say 100% certainty with what this game will actually be because who knows? Maybe it will be like a massive open world game. Maybe we're wrong, but everything that they're showing right now suggests that it's going to be a more straightforward, focused, explorable adventure that incorporates some recognizable features from Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I really like. I know they titled this video this way to get like, you know, it do well in the algo, and obviously there's some dislikes here because that's not really what it is. You know, it's not. I don't think this game's trying to be Skyrim 2. I really don't think it's trying to do that. I think it has a lot of elements similar to Skyrim and Elder Scrolls games, but I don't think this is Skyrim 2. I don't think it's trying to be Skyrim 2. I don't think many people are going to say that. I think people are going to make comparisons and they're going to use a title like this whenever they want views. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way. Get your views, get your money up, okay, twin? As long as you aren't straight out up scamming people, okay? Get your fucking money up, bruh. There's only 3 big companies that really produce RAM and one just shut down. Oh, so basically we're getting close to a monopoly is what I'm hearing. Yo, what's up, Cam? New view, I dig it, my guy. Yo, thank you, bro. The Steam Machine, the PlayStation, Xbox, they're all gonna go up. Really? Is that gonna... Oh, shit, dude. I'm gonna have to do some research on this, dude, in my own free time. Or maybe with chat. Yeah, no, Julian, yeah. But also, I think what they're trying to say, Julian, is like in Skyrim and shit, you can go into third person view, but in this one, you probably can't. Like, they aren't showing off the ability to go into third person. But you are right. This is why I bought into GeForce Now. Whenever I do want to play a game on PC, which is rare now, I just buy a month. I'm set. I'm done trying to get a good PC. Just get a Steam machine, my man.
Light magic, stuff like that, but not quite as enormous or ambitious in terms of scale, because visually it's really impressive. Again, I love the way the game actually visually depicts stuff that normally gets glossed over, like adding poison oil to your sword.
Yeah, that's sick as
using
fuck.
a fire spell to light up the torch. Like, actually, like, there's animations for that. The fidelity here looks extremely impressive and just makes us excited to check it out.
Oh,
even
God.
if calling it the next Skyrim is probably setting up people for disappointment.
Yeah.
Look, the sad reality is that there's nothing quite out there like those games, and they're seemingly very hard to make, but we're always on the lookout for games to scratch that same itch. The big Obsidian ones are almost there. Even the fan-made ones are still a little bit more linear than I'd like, but from everything we've seen of Fatekeeper, it looks like it could be a
If only fucking Obsidian didn't have to deal with goddamn fucking Microsoft, and they didn't have to pitch Avowed as a fucking or a multiplayer game or whatever they were trying to build originally, and then maybe they could have built it from the ground up. But also, I heard the writing wasn't very like it was just okay writing, you know, as well. So that's kind of how I've been judging games recently after playing Cyberpunk and Expedition 33 back to back. How good are your side characters? Are your side characters, like, believable? Like, do they feel like real human beings, or do they literally feel like a fucking robot you're talking to in a game? Okay, well, then your game's not that good, dude. That's at least how I've been viewing things recently. Like, a month ago, you could get RAM for 84, now, like, 329. God damn. But yeah, I mean, that's not how I totally judge games, but that's, like, a portion of them, because, like, both those games, the characters are written so well. They're so fucking believable, dude. I want this because I got a game suggestion for multiplayer that isn't out yet, but I think it looks awesome. I'm all ears, Cam. Cam, how are you doing, by the way, bro? Although I do want a living room emulator set up, I've been looking at office PCs on eBay because offices and other places that use PCs just dump decent spec PCs all the time. It's actually crazy how often places upgrade. I would believe that, dude. Nah, I don't need a new console and play for a month and then not play again. That's, hey, buddy, it's because you bought a Switch too, okay? Respectfully, you don't have a fucking family of 5 and you aren't a fucking Nintendo freak, okay? So, yeah. But no, I'm with you, Josh. I'm with you. For you, yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
really fun and visually impressive action RPG, but seeing clips and screenshots go around
Switch
online
too?
with people saying like, oh man, they're beating Bethesda at their own game, look at this Skyrim style game, I think it's probably not going to be anywhere near as big as the next Elder Scrolls. That's not me being a downer, that might be the truth here.
But portable Cyberpunk, buy a fucking Steam Deck, cracker. Buy a fucking Steam Deck, my boy. Or even a fucking MacBook. I can play fucking Cyberpunk on my MacBook, dude. You too, Chris? A Switch too? All right. What? Yeah, I'm also a Switch. How'd you know?
That's not necessarily a bad thing either. Sometimes games don't need to be these massive, endless things. Sometimes a more focused, linear game is exactly what players can be looking for, especially if it's really good. So while it might not replace Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, whatever, or anything for me personally, so far it looks like it might actually be a pretty interesting and fun game if they nail it. That's the biggest thing. This isn't me glazing this game because we don't know yet. Fatekeeper has a Steam page, but no release date, at least not yet at the time of making this video. But I don't expect it to be too far off, maybe sometime 2026, early 2027. It's far from the only action RPG releasing in the next year or two. There's some big stuff like Crimson Desert, of course, The Witcher 4.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, who knows when, but...
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, dude, if this game and The Witcher 4 come out in the same quarter, and this game is $70 and The Witcher 4 is $70, and it's like 2 months before The Witcher 4 comes out, and I go, I'm kind of light on cash. I'm not fucking buying Fatekeeper unless it like literally comes out like 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s. Unless it's like Expedition 33 where it comes out of nowhere and everyone's like, this game's fucking incredible, you gotta play it. And even still, I didn't play Expedition 33 for like 6 months. Or not 6 months. What? 4 months? Maybe? Does your Discord have like a chat for everybody to talk and text? Yes. Yes, Nightwave, we do. You just have to click the little thing that like gets you verified after you look at the rules. Office PCs are the way to go. They usually have higher end parts for cheap because they're not going for looks as much as performance. Ooh. You guys are actually putting me on game right now, low-key. Low-key, I think from what I've seen, the Switch 2 is one of the best ways to play Cyberpunk on the go because they put so much work into it. I heard the Steam Deck is iffy with it and things like the ROG Alley Rock. Oh yeah, I'm not even talking about that shit. Fuck that shit. But couldn't you technically mod Cyberpunk on the Steam Deck though? I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know that much about Steam Decks. I'm just low-key anti-Switch 2 after their fucking crazy price for games. I understand they have to up the price of hardware, but I think them upping the price of games. I know they were moving in that direction already. There's a lot of fucking companies charging $70, but, you know, I'm still mad at Nintendo for fucking charging. And maybe, you know what, chat? This is a me problem because when I was younger, my family was too broke to be able to afford Nintendo games because they were always $50 or $60, okay? And them upping their prices for their physical copies now gives me PTSD of that. Not actual PTSD, but it definitely gives me, you know, similar vibes to back then when I couldn't afford it because I can't afford them now. So maybe that's just a me thing. I just need to get a better graphics card for my PC, then I'll be chilling. That's fair, Julian. That's fair, dude. You know what, Julian? Yeah, I'll just upgrade to the 5090 and I'll give you my 3080. I got you, dude. I'll cut you a killer deal. I'm chill like that. Honestly, Nintendo has always been behind. When games started going to 70 a few years ago, they were still at 60. Here we go. Thank you, big organization. Thank you, big You know what? I'm sorry, Josh. You don't deserve that.
This looks like something a little different. And
it won't verify you? Nightwave. Add me as a friend, and I'll make sure you get verified.
It just managed to distinguish itself among the crowd whenever it does actually come out, especially for maybe some old school games.
I said big organization, by the way. I meant big corporation.
But let us know what you think. Did this game catch your eye? Do you like a game where you can just play as a heavy brute and swing a big claymore and chop dudes' legs off? Were you hoping for this to be a big, massive open world game? Maybe it still could be. Who knows? Let's talk about this game down in the comments, because we've seen some interesting chatter about it, so it could be an interesting conversation. But hey, let's talk anything about Fatekeeper and anything else down in the comments. If you like this video and you like talking games with us, everything about interesting chatter about it, so it could be an.
Is that how you spell below? Bell O-W? I thought it was B-E-L-O-W, but I'm fucking dyslexic, so don't, and homeschooled, so don't take my advice.
But really, that's it. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Are they trying to rage bait me? Is that what they're doing? But anyways, I don't. Oh, thank you guys. Yo, I'm actually hold on. I'm actually tapped like that. Anyway, thank you again for the roses, homie. I appreciate you. With smithing. Oh, maybe they were trying to be quirky. This game. Don't think it's gonna be Skyrim 2, like I said, but I think it'll be good. I think it will be good. If it comes out, you know, before The Witcher 4 or I have bread like that at the time, I will, in fact, be copying it, okay? Witcher 4, I'm super excited for that. I think that's probably going to be the closest that people who are fans of the Elder Scrolls are probably going to get, unless you're trying to play, like, Tainted Grail, you know? Or Ardenfall, you know? Some games like that. That's the closest you're going to get to another Elder Scrolls game, is The Witcher 4. Like a AAA. The closest you're getting in AAA form. And even still, you know, that's not really close. Kind of, you know, open world and stuff, but not as much customization of your character. But I am very hopeful for this. I'm hopeful for this. I hope this game is really good. Nightwave, thank you for the gifties, homie. But I'm not getting my hopes up, though, is the thing. I'm gonna assume this is gonna be ass until I'm told otherwise, respectfully. This game is called Fatekeeper. I don't think it wants to be Skyrim. I think you want it to be Skyrim. The time between the Elder Scrolls 5 and 6 will be as long, if not longer, from the Elder Scrolls 1 to Elder Scrolls 5. Let that sink in. Game has torches, game ranks. Is this Skyrim? All these Skyrim likes are a little rough around the edges. Have you ever played Skyrim? That's actually true. Dark Messiah of Might and Magic is an underrated gem. Yeah, I've never heard of that game. I might have to tap in. As one of the voices for Tainted Grail and someone who put 60 plus hours in their first playthrough, I love the praise the game gets. It has its drawbacks in the final act, but it really was a wonderful journey to play and to voice. Oh, it's voice? That's fire. That's fire, dude. All right, this is just all going to be these dorks being like, Game Ranks, this isn't Skyrim. They aren't trying to be Skyrim.